This bonus episode is brought to you by Nurtec ODT Rimegepant, 75 milligrams, orally disintegrating tablets. Hello! From Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month we're talking about comediennes, women throughout history who've made us laugh. They transgressed societal norms through comedy and often spoke out against injustice using their sharp wit. Today we're talking about a veteran of vaudeville and radio, movies and TV. She made her mark as a lovable, if feather-brained housewife. One half of a couple that dominated comedy for more than 30 years. Please welcome Gracie Allen. It's not exactly clear when Gracie was born. That's because she made a punchline out of her own birthday. Gracie was born in San Francisco around 1902, or 1897, or 1895. Well, sometime around 1906. She claimed her birth certificate had been destroyed in the Great San Francisco earthquake. Her father was a singer and dancer, and Gracie entered into show business when she was quite young. By the time she was 14 years old, she and her sisters had a successful Irish dancing act. In 1922, Gracie caught wind that a popular comedy duo, George Burns and Billy Lorraine, were calling it quits. Gracie just so happened to be looking for a new job. Her friend advised her to team up with Billy Lorraine. He was the funny one. Gracie walked right up to Billy, let him know she'd be the best comedy partner a guy could ask for, and just like that, Billy Lorraine asked her to breakfast. It would be another few days before Billy Lorraine told Gracie the truth. She'd walked up to the wrong guy. He was George Burns, the not-so-funny one. As he later recalled, I told her to stop calling me Lorraine, my name was Burns. And 3 years later, her name was Burns. In 1926, Gracie and George got married and quickly built one of the most popular couples vaudeville acts in the country. George as the Joker, and Gracie played it straight. But something wasn't quite right. When George delivered the punchlines, he got laughs, just not nearly as many as Gracie did during her setups. Gracie had a special kind of comedic timing, a sincerity while saying the most ridiculous things possible, an ability to play innocent rather than stupid. She was pretty and funny, scatterbrained but charming. She endeared herself to the audience, proudly announcing how she trimmed hedges with electric razors and sewed buttons to shirt tails, while George interrupted her monologues with a defeated huff and a puff on his cigar. Gracie and George graduated to become regulars on Guy Lombardo's radio program in 1932. 2 years later, when Guy left, they took over his time slot. Their show was called The Adventures of Gracie. When it caught the eye of sponsors, it cycled through many different names, including the Campbell's Tomato Juice Program. Beyond their usual routines, Gracie and George mounted comedic stunts that involved entire radio stations. In 1933, they began a year-long search for Gracie's imaginary missing brother. While looking for him, they showed up on other radio shows and programs, causing interruptions and amusing the audience. In 1940, Gracie launched a spoof campaign for president on the surprise party ticket. She traveled around the West, gave speeches, and reportedly raked in thousands of write-in votes. In 1950, Gracie and George made the jump to television with The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show. Each episode was filled with the same kind of humor they'd used in their vaudeville days, only now in a sitcom format.
Excuse me for taking liberties, but I'm Mrs. Charles Gibson, and I'm a very dear friend of Harry Von Zell's.
Oh, well, if your husband doesn't mind you taking liberties with Harry, we certainly don't, do we, Blanche?
In 1958, Gracie retired. George continued their TV show for one more season without her. According to him, the Gracie from on stage wasn't so different from the one at home. She liked to swap the salt into the pepper shaker and the pepper into the salt. She used short electrical cords since she believed it would use less power. In her spare time, she wrote a newspaper column and painted. Her pieces of art had cryptic names like Behind the Before Yet Under the Vast Above, The World is in Tears, and Tomorrow is Tuesday. On August 27, 1964, Gracie died of a heart attack. George lived to be 100. When he died, he was buried next to Gracie. Their crypt reads, Together Again. All month, we're talking about comediennes. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow.
If you're prescribed Nurtec ODT, rimegepant 75 milligrams for migraine attacks, does the fear of running out of medication stop you from treating every migraine attack? If so, ask about 2 8-packs per month. That's 16 tablets, and most insurance plans cover it.
Nurtec ODT is approved for the acute treatment of migraine attacks and preventive treatment of episodic migraine in adults. Don't take if allergic to Nurtec ODT or any of its ingredients. Allergic reactions can occur even days after using and include trouble breathing, rash, and swelling of the face, mouth, tongue, or throat. Most common side effects were nausea and indigestion stomach pain. A maximum dose of 75 milligrams can be taken daily to treat migraine attacks or every other day to prevent them. The safety of using more than 18 doses of Nurtec ODT in a 30-day period has not been established. For full prescribing information, call 1-8334-NURTEC or visit Nurtec.com.
Double the packs to treat more migraine attacks. Ask your doctor if 2 8-packs of Nurtec ODT is right for you.